What's going on, party people? It's Wordman Gary Lime, and this right here is the Wordman $20 Film School. And what we do here at the Wordman $20 Film School is listen to particularly dope music, apparently. This right here is by the Doobie Brothers, and it's very dope. But no, what we do here at the Wordman $20 Film School is we take a $20 bill, and then we run up to a movie store, and we buy a bunch of movies for someone that I know, and then we shoot one of these little videos to tell said person why I bought them said stuff. And this particular video, this particular one, is for my brother, the mighty T.O. Double, Todd Bundy, what up? And isn't that like the coolest drum beat? Like how come a rapper hasn't used this, Todd? Like, how come? How come? Like, this is just like, this is begging for like Black Thought, or like somebody to spit a billion syllables over. Like, what are you gonna do? Anyhow, Todd, we got you a bunch of really good movies, and we're gonna go through them one by one, and while we listen to dope music, and I'm gonna tell you why I got. And it's just like say what you want about classic rock. Like, their changes into like the soft vamp is always really special. I know Todd and I, we grew up, you know, listening to our father blare this out of like German speakers, annoying the shit out of all of our neighbors. But Todd, let me explain to you why we got you what we got you, and then yeah, that'll be that. We're gonna start with the movie Mystic River here by the one Clint Eastwood. He has a new movie coming out, by the way, which don't look that bad. His movies are pretty good. This one is easily my favorite of his directed movies. It's a phenomenal movie. It's probably as close to perfect as you can get a movie this big. And by big, I mean like there's like multiple characters going in multiple directions. It's a movie where, as I like to say, all the characters aren't facing the same direction. And story-wise, that's really hard to do. Only the best are able to do it. It's based on a really, really, really great novel by a man whose name I can't remember. Dennis Lehane. It's written by a man named Dennis Lehane. Really, really good book. It's Brian Helgeland did the adaptation. Why that name's dope is because he also did the adaptation for LA Confidential. So he's clearly a guy who knows how to do big, sprawling crime novels and turn them into really good movies. You couldn't ask for a better cast than this. Like, everybody is awesome in this. Like, the movie's so good that Lawrence Fishburne's only in 10 minutes, and you're like, damn, I wish he had a whole movie. Like, it's one of those movies where you wish every character had 2 hours to themselves. The fact that he's able to put all this down into less than 3 hours is really impressive. And, this is such a funky record, man. This is one of those when the whites get it right. Todd and I have this ongoing thing where we talk about music where the whites get it right. This is one where the whites got it right. But coming back to this, this is the 3-disc edition, which includes the movie, a bunch of making-ofs, and then the soundtrack to the score, which was a very, very good score. Again, like, I'm hard-pressed to think of a movie that's better than this that's come out. Especially a movie that's as big as this that's come out. I don't know if you own it already. I'm hoping you do. Or hoping you don't, rather. Sean Penn won an Oscar for this for very good reason. Tim Robbins is amazing in this. Through my travels, I try to make righteous steps, cause right or left could mean life or death. This right here is Rakim, Todd, you know. This is the God Rakim with Waiting for the World to End, one of his better later songs. Like, really, it's the God, you know. He has a book out, by the way, that like I desperately want for Christmas. Hint, hint. But let's move through this stuff. So yeah, we got your Mystic River. The next one on the list is It's a Disaster. This is a really, really funny comedy that like I kind of came across accidentally. Everybody, like a bunch of like really good actors that are kind of like the other guy in every like show or movie is in this. Rachel Boston, America Ferrera, I'm reading off the box, David Cross, Julia Stiles, which that's how I came across the movie. If we know Gary. But the way this movie works, the great premise. So these like sort of 20, 30 somethings or 30 somethings are having a get together, like a brunch, and it's during the day of them having this. There's a big attack, like I'm trying to think of how to explain it. Like there's a mysterious attack on the city, so like they don't know what's going on outside the house. Meanwhile, they're still having the brunch in the house. I'm not explaining it well, I know, but it is so funny. It's this really funny movie, basically just about what if all of these, you know, new millennium version of yuppies, what if they were all, you know, sitting around, as Rock Kim might say, waiting for the world to end. You would think I did that intentionally, and I didn't. I'm very proud of that one. And it's really, really funny. I was surprised at how funny it was. Great ending. Great ending. And really, really well drawn out characters. It's the kind of movie that would make a great play, but it's also a good movie, which usually you don't get both. So, boom. Check it out. This is one of the better westerns that like 5 people have seen. It's the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Is it Robert Ford? Yeah, Robert Ford. It's basically just a really, really kind of smart western where, like, as you know, Mr. Pitt here plays Jesse James, and he's sort of on the lam from one of his prior Jesse Jamesing. He's on the lam from being an outlaw, and it's basically just kind of about him and the relationship with his friend Robert Ford, played by Casey Affleck. Casey Affleck's the younger brother of Ben Affleck. He was in a bunch of movies. He's like one of those faces, like you can see him right in there. But like he's in everything. You know him if you see him. It's a really, really, really smart western. Really, really good. And it's, again, like, I can't think of 5 people I know who've seen it. But the other 4 people I know that have seen it, they're like me. They're like I know people who don't like westerns who love this movie. So, like, hard to give a better recommendation than that, in my opinion. Yeah, probably, you know, I'd highly recommend it. And now you won't have the excuse for not having seen it. Oh, nice. This right here is, this is Bruce Springsteen with Devils and Dust. Todd, as I'm sure Todd and I have grown up listening to every Bruce Springsteen song ever made, so, you know, there's that. Next one up is we have a Ghost double feature, mostly by coincidence. Again, like, this was all for $20, so it was trying to cram everything in, and you're looking for themes from there. But this one is the Roman Polanski movie, The Ghost Rider. This is a really cool movie that I like push on everybody. I know we're not allowed to like Roman Polanski anymore because he did, you know, bad things. But if you can look past that and watch a movie, you know, if you're one of those separate art and artist guys like I am, it's a really, really good flick. It's so Mr. Pierce Brosnan is the former Prime Minister of England, and he is in the process of getting his memoir written. And Mr. Ewan McGregor here is the Ghost Rider, hence the title. And from there, there's a political mystery involved in terms of what he did or didn't do with the United States government, and what happened to the prior Ghost Rider before, you know, Mr. Ewan McGregor, before Obi-Wan. They just don't make movies this good. I think it's the only reason people put up with Polanski is because, like, no one else can make movies this good. It is so tense, and it's from, like, you wouldn't even think it would be tense because, like, you know, there's not a lot of tension in ghostwriting. I say ghostwriter, I can tell you. There's not a lot of tension in my job. This movie finds a way to do it. It's absolutely great. It's based on a book. All of the supporting actors in this give amazing performances. Well, is it Melissa Williams? I never pronounce her name correctly. I believe it's Melissa Williams. I'm saying her name wrong. Olivia Williams. Olivia Williams is great in this. Kim Cattrall is really good in this. I hadn't seen her like in anything that really like showed off her acting talent. I'm not a big Sex and the City guy, and she really stands up on this. Tom Wilkinson is great in this. You've never been more scared of GPS in your entire life than when you're watching this flick. It's a great flick, Todd. It's the kind of movie that I know you will really, really like. A lot of these movies, actually, if we're going for a theme, I guess you could say the overall theme is these are the kind of movies that you put on, like on a Sunday, when you're just kind of chilling at the house, you got everything all done, and you're just kind of looking for something to, like, something to watch that won't insult your intelligence, but is still interesting and not like, you know, not a PBS documentary. We like those too, but you know what I mean, like something with a little kick to it. In that respect, all these movies, I'd say, are, you know, really well done, smart flicks that like aren't trying to be pretentious and aren't trying to be, you know, smart. And they're really good. So the second half of our Ghost feature, we went from the Ghost Rider to the Ghost Dog. The Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. This is a Jim Jarmusch flick. What was I going to say about Ghost Dog? It's one of my favorite movies. It's got Forrest Whitaker, one of my favorite actors. The plot is so... It's one of those movies that, like, we talk about this with movies where, like, there's some movies work no matter who directs them, and then some movies only work if someone in particular directs them. This is the kind of movie that only works because Jim Jarmusch is directing it. Forrest Whitaker plays a retainer for a ridiculous mobster, or for a mobster of a ridiculous mob family. However, Forrest Whitaker's the retainer lives by the samurai code in present-day New York. It's just like it shouldn't make sense. Like, it's that kind of thing where like you watch it and you go, like, you hear the premise, you read the back of it, and you go like, there's no way this is gonna work. Like, there's no way they're gonna make this work. And it does. And it's really heartfelt. It's really smart. If there's one thing I really like about Jim Jarmusch movies, and there's one thing I think that he does better than probably anybody else, is scenes that you feel more than you understand. And I know that's kind of a weird compliment to give somebody, but like when you watch his movies, and this one too, like more so the other ones, but certainly this one, you have these scenes and these moments and these characters where you just feel for them, or you have moments that you emotionally understand more than you intellectually understand, and that's just something you don't see in movies a lot. And Jim Jarmusch is great at it. It's great. I love this movie. RZA from the almighty Wu-Tang did the score, and it's a great score. Really, really good score. I don't know how he didn't get more film work based on this alone, but you know, my good friend Kaylee, she met Jim Jarmusch and said he was very nice. I think it was Kaylee who said she met him. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, great movie. This is My Love Is by Little Willie John. Just one of the cooler songs. Just finger snaps, bass, drum fill, and Little Willie's being awesome. We got a couple left here for you. So strong I can't let you go. Why my love? The next one is the 10-year anniversary collection of Glengarry Glen Ross. Glengarry Glen Ross is a great movie. It's a great play. Written and directed. Damn it, he didn't direct it, but David Mamet wrote it. It's all about this particular real estate firm or real estate group, whatever they're called. And it's just these like 5 or 6 different like characters within this real estate firm, and the sort of bonkersness, pretend that's a word, the bonkersness of their job and their behavior. It's a classic. It's an American classic. The dialogue is, it's a I don't know how much you know about David Mamet, but for us theater geeks, like, David Mamet's like one of the best ever. His dialogue is just, it pops. It's one of those things where it's like, mean, it's a curse every third word, but like, but the dialogue is so sharp and so fast and just absolutely like pitch perfect. It's highly stylish, highly stylized, but it doesn't feel highly stylized. It's not like when you're watching Shakespeare, where you're listening for the pentameter. This is something where you just feel it, you know.
If you cross your heart to someone,
this is Sonny Boy Williamson with "Cross My Heart" or "Cross Your Heart." It's just perfect blues music, man. Perfect blues music. But anyway, so the movie's based on the play. There's a really great scene with Alec Baldwin, which he actually added for the movie. So it's not actually in the play, and it's probably the best scene he ever wrote, which is amazing to say. If you want to watch 5, 6, older white male actors be awesome in scenes together, this is the one to go with. I mean, run down the list, right? You got Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon in this movie shuts down. Alan Arkin, Alec Baldwin, what's his name? Ed Harris, like Kevin Spacey is so good in this movie. Like, it's a great flick, and it's one of those movies probably like the less you know about it, the better. So it's a good one. Check it out. We here at the Wordman $20 Film School have received numerous letters, right? Like lots of letters from our adoring public, saying that we don't do enough comedies, and that's because and there's lots of reasons for why, but we're gonna try to. We here at the Wordman $20 Film School hear you, and so we included one of the greatest comedies of all time, Airplane. Ooh, that's a great harmonica right there. What can I tell you about Airplane that you don't already know, Todd? Because I know we grew up watching this movie. Yeah, they call it one of the top 10 funniest movies ever made, as it says on the box. And, I probably agree with that. Like, I'm hard-pressed to think of I'm hard-pressed to think of more than 9 that are funnier. It's a really, really solid comedy. And, again, it's like that, it's like The Big Lebowski or, Black Dynamite, where it's like, to pick your favorite, like to quote a favorite line from this movie is basically just to quote the entire script, because it's so funny just from beat to beat to beat to beat, and it's great. It's great. I'm sure I don't have to tell you anything about Airplane. You know just how funny it is, and if you didn't know it before, now you do. And last but not least, we here at the Wordman $20 Film School, we have a tradition where with every particular class, stick with a theme, right? With every class of the Wordman $20 Film School, we include one movie by John Landis for no other reason than because I think John Landis is awesome and he makes great movies. And that's what we're doing. So, Todd, as you may recall, I texted you saying, Coming to America or Blues Brothers, and you picked the Blues Brothers, so that's what you're getting. Which means I get to keep Coming to America. Boogie. What's I gonna say? Oh, this is Q Major, a great reggae joint called Good Swimmer. Great reggae song. When the valley couldn't hold me, they throw me in the river, thinking I would drown, but man, a good swimmer. That's a cool line. I wish I could say that, but I'm afraid of the water. Todd, the Blues Brothers. What can I tell you about the Blues Brothers you don't already? This is another movie we grew up watching just constantly. Like, we had one of those dads that, wait for the drop. That's a great drop. No, but we grew up with one of those dads who taped stuff off the television on the VHS, and this was one of the movies that he did. And I think, Todd, I think I was telling you this before, that this is a movie I've probably seen almost as much as any movie. It's great, it's funny, it's hilarious. I have to tell you, like, random trivia. Like, can you think of another movie where a contemporary film where white people fight Nazis? Like, it kind of hit me like funny how it's like, I can't think of another movie where like a contemporary film where white people fight white supremacists, and this is the only one I could think of. Black Klansman, I guess. Like, you know, but that, you know, that's you know, like maybe. I mean, Adam Driver's in it, so I guess. But nevertheless, man, it's the Blues Brothers. And you know why the Blues Brothers is awesome? Blues Brothers is one of those movies that's awesome, not because of the main characters, but because of everything around the main characters. Or, you know, like, which is a really cool way, I think, to do a movie. To be like, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna take this kind of neat idea, you know, which is a Saturday Night Live concept, actually. But we're gonna take this little thing, and then we're just gonna put cool stuff around it. And then that's gonna work. So, like, you know, you've got Cab Calloway, James Brown, and Ray Charles, and Aretha Franklin, and John Lee Hooker, and like, and they're like, it's awesome, you know what I mean? Like, that's great. Like, that's a smart way to make a movie. That's a really, really smart one. And of course, like, the greatest car chase ever, you know? And part of me wishes I knew how they did that, because it's like, I've watched it and I still don't get it. But yeah, little brother, that's what we got you. As you can see here, quite a bit. Oh, this is Father of Night by Bob Dylan. Quick side, how come Dad never listened to Bob Dylan music? You know why? I have no idea. All that classic rock crap he made us listen to. Never once was he a big Bob Dylan guy. Huh. I don't know. In any case, this is what we got you, little brother. It's going in the mail tomorrow? Let's say tomorrow. Who knows when you're watching this, so yeah, it's going in the mail later. It's going in the mail now. No, but we got this for you, little brother. I'm sure some of these you probably already have, and if so, do something with them. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, all of these together only cost me $20. So, you know, this way you can get your good movie on, and we can expand and inform one's cinematic knowledge, which is what we do here at the Wordman $20 Film School. And, yeah, that's about the run of it, little brother. Hope you're doing good. And, signing off from the nation of Brooklyn, it's the Wordman, Gary Lyon. Peace.